All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for everyone who's here joining us tonight. My name is Lisa Partida with Homemaking LA. So tonight we are on our final session of the month for the first-time homebuyer series, and tonight's topic is going to be kind of covering about understanding the closing process, escrow, and closing costs. So I'll go ahead and pass it along to Isabel Duran with Operation Hope.
Great. I'm excited. I feel like I'm coming to the line, the finishing line. Boy, that was a long walk. But congratulations for those of you who've stood by us. So we're going to finish the home buyer workshop, understanding the closing process, and give you the one last piece of information that's very important. So learn about the closing process to alleviate anxiety. Closing a real estate transaction will rarely be without its moments of anxiety. However, buyers and sellers can reduce some of their concerns by learning about each phase of the process. This will help you reduce worries and help with a smoother closing. So always something's going to happen. Somebody missed a page, somebody missed a signature, and it has to be done right away. That's usually what happens in the last part. So Escrow is a company, a business that is in charge of making sure all the paperwork, all the process, all the steps are done correctly and legally. So the seller chooses the the escrow company. The escrow company works with a title company. The title company is solely in charge of the paperwork that is registered with a county recorder. One of the most important things that you're going to get is a title document. The title is like a pink slip, like the pink slip to your car says you're the owner of the car. Nobody else's name is on the pink slip, so you are the owner. The title to your property is like a pink slip. It states your name or your partner's name or however you have chosen to apply for the loan and who you want ownership on the property. So the title will have your name or names, and it will be part of the loan documents that will be registered with a county recorder. And the seller typically pays for the escrow fees and the owner's title policy. Buyers can be in breach of contract if buyer fails to close escrow at date indicated. So when you first signed the contract and sat down with the seller and your agent, you agreed to a certain amount of days in order to have the loan approved, in order to have the appraisal done and the inspection, and also going through the escrow process. And so if you cancel, there's a possibility that the seller may ask for money to make up for that. And it's usually somewhere around the 3% of the purchase price. So closing possession to be delivered vacant. This is about a property that has a rental. And so you want to have on your contract the dates that the renters are going to move out. And you want to have a closing walkthrough. You also want to know when are you going to have the house vacant so you can move into. Arrival of loan documents. So once everything is almost done and the lender has approved you, will send loan documents to escrow. Escrow will then send it to the notary public, and they will make an appointment with you either at your house or your office. And they will come in, the notary will come and have you sign the loan documents. The notary is very familiar with loan documents, knows where you have to sign, and then he will or she will have you sign his journal and also put your thumbprints there. So that's part of the program there with the notary. And oops, sorry. Ah, where am I? So once all the loan documents are signed and you've put your stamp on his book, he then takes the loan documents to the escrow officer. The escrow officer takes a look at the documents, sends it to the lender. The lender then reviews it to make sure everything's signed in the right place correctly. And so then they have the escrow company get a messenger to record your deed and your there's another one, deed and trust and your title. Okay, and escrow, I always call it as a neutral third party working. Let me see. Okay, hold on a second. Working on benefit the entire transaction and the parties involved. Processes, coordinates the entire real estate and mortgage closing procedure. Gathers documents, contract, deed, title, instructions, loan documents, and title insurance. Everything has to be correct. Handles all funds and transaction. Deposits. So when you have a down payment deposit, when you first make a your offer, you put 1% down. That goes to escrow because they are, again, neutral, and they're also, what do you call it? They're approved to accept money and put it in their vault. They also get audited, so everything has to be done correct because they are checked a lot. Like I want to say twice a year they get an audit. So I think escrow is really a good program because they're very honest. So they make sure the down payment is coming in, the closing costs, and then once everything is registered, then the escrow sends the money to the seller, and that's the loan fund disbursements from proceeds to sellers and commission to realtors. It's changed a little bit, but I don't want to say how it was changed because I'm not a real estate agent, but it's a little different. So on the preliminary title report is ordered immediately after you agreed with the seller to sell the house and you sign the contract. Then escrow calls title and says we need a preliminary title report to make sure that there's no other owners of the house. There's nothing holding back. There's no loans still owning on the property. So they want to give you a clean title report. The real estate title states who has ownership of the real property and the right to sell. So they go back quite a few years to get the history of the house that you're going to buy. They verify any deeds, mortgages, wills, easement, rights, or any liens against property. Receives instructions for resolving liens. So if there's a house that they find like, let's say 20 years ago, the owner did some construction work, but didn't pay the contractor. The contractor had put a lien on it. And so now the lien has to be paid before they can give you the house. So you're going to have to talk with your agent and the seller's agent to see how you can resolve that. Also recording documents and any other requirements of the buyer's lender. A lot of paperwork. So title insurance is an agreement to indemnify against damage or loss from a defect in title as evidenced by the policy of title insurance to real property. So they do their best to have it correct and perfect, but every now and then there's one little defect on perhaps the name of the person or the person itself, and then you go into arbitration to how to fix that. There can be unforeseen defects in real estate title, even after a thorough title search has been done. If the buyer is borrowing the funds from the lender, title insurance is always required. If the buyer is not borrowing from a lender, it is still highly recommended that the buyer invest in title insurance. Okay. So title insurance protects buyers and lenders from unexpected issues that can arise from the property that has been purchased. The policy will cover legal fees associated with the defense of the buyer's right to title or with a challenge to the ownership of property. Title insurance will also defend a lender's lien on the property and will reimburse them for losses incurred if the challenger's rights are upheld. I've been hearing a lot about a company that's saying they're offering title insurance. I mean, like, besides homeowner insurance, there's title insurance, and I just don't trust that because I think this is just right. So home insurance protects buyers from unexpected issues that can arise from the property after the property has been purchased. The home insurance will cover fire, theft, vandalism, lighting, and liability. Home insurance can protect you from liability claims and lawsuits. Home coverages include personal property, medical payment, loss of rent, separate structures, pools, and solar panels. Hazard and fire insurance. Remember, it's very important here because we have a lot of trees. Every now and then, the hot summer makes everything dry. So your insurance will help with dwelling and extending replacement, building ordinances or law coverage, condo and townhomes, HOAs, and loss assessment. When doing a home inspection, check the, what is that? HVAC, which is the cooler, the roof, plumbing, and electrical, possible discounts. It's very important to have that home inspection. Water claims, always have a licensed contractor or water restoration company. So basically, you're going to create a whole new team once you move into your house, because you always need a electrician, a plumber, a handyman, maybe a carpenter. I need a welder myself. Okay.
I think there was a question. I saw someone's hand raised. Rodney?
A question?
I think so, yeah. Well, he raised his hand, but I don't see him unmuting himself.
Who can see your message? All right, message.
Sorry, it was my just wrong action. Sorry.
Oh, a slip of the finger. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. By the way,
right.
if you need a welder, I know a lot of people, just to let you know.
You know a welder?
Yeah, licensed, unlicensed, anyone.
Where does he work?
One of them is in the Burbank, the other one is in North Hollywood. Yeah, and another one in Sunland.
Oh, nice and close. You can give me their phone numbers. I would appreciate it.
I will put it in the chat.
Thank you.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so hazard, fire hazard. Okay, home warranty is not the same as hazard insurance. Usually, the seller or the real estate agents for the seller usually give you a home warranty once you move in, and that's kind of like a gift. And the home warranty helps you with appliances and some water damage. So you move in, they left the washer and dryer, and you wanted the washer and dryer to be in the house. And let's say, there's a leak in the washer, so you can call the warranty company and they will send somebody out to fix it and you don't have to pay. Okay. Make sure let's see, when you do rehab work or add square footage to the house, update your policy. Home warranty is not the same as hazard insurance Home warranty covers appliances and some water damage. Make sure it includes roof coverage. You never know. Okay. Let's see. Let's turn the page. Okay. So this is also another important part of the title. They will be in charge of making sure that how you want the title on the property. So again, the title is like a pink slip. So you want to make sure the names are correct and how you want that to be on the title. So there's different variations of ownership based on whether you're single or married or a partnership. So sole and or separate ownership, a single individual. In other words, they're not married. So it could be a married man or unmarried man or woman, or his or her sole and separate property. Property. When I first had it in my house, I wasn't married, so I was Isabel Duran, unmarried, separate property. Real simple. Of course, now I'm married, so now it's Mr. and Mrs. on the title. Community property with rights of survivorship. I understand California is a community property state, so you may not have to go through a wedding, but you can be legally married in California, and you can place that on your pink slip of your property, and however you want to mention it. But remember the names of the persons who are going to be owners of the property. I've gotten quite a few clients asking, you know, my father passed away, but he was the only one on the title. And now my mom wants to be part of the ownership, and the lender's saying, no, she's not on title. So I had to refer them to a title company to see if they can fix that problem. So imagine that, you know, your father dies, your mom's still alive, and neither of you have your names on title. You know, how do you prove that's your house? So it's very careful. You have to be very careful how you put the names on the title. And you can also change in a few years, but you have to go to the title company and pay for the change of the ownership of the title. Joint tenancy. This is typically what a married couple would put on a title, joint tenancy. So Mr. and Mrs. Duran is ownership of the house. Let's say Mr. Duran passed away, and what happens now is Mrs. Duran is now the owner of the house, and there's no probate involved because their title is joint tenancy. So both of them own it. One dies, and the other is still the owner, and nothing has to be in the way. Okay. Now, tenancy in common, this is more like a partnership. So let's say Lisa and I are partners. We want to invest in a house. So we actually write a contract between us. We go to a lawyer, have it signed, and you know, put all the fingerprints that we're doing an investment. I'm going to put in 50% of the amount. She's going to put in 50%. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot your husband. Does he want to be part of this investment, Lisa?
I'm not sure. Maybe. I'm
Well,
pretty sure he would.
I think my husband would want to be part of the partnership, but he only wants to put in 25%. I'll put in 50%.
Yeah.
And so our title will be, let's say, the partnership of Lisa and Isabel, and then Mr. Duran. And what's your husband's name? Gonzalo?
Pedro Partida.
There you go. So we're going to have 4 names on the title, and then we're going to have a separate contract. So now we're going to be tenancy in common. And whatever part we have, like whether it's 50% or 25%, we can actually sell it to another family member and have them take over, and that can be happening. So just thought I'd let you know of all the different ways of owning the property, but make sure that you have this done correctly, because in the 20 years, anything can change. You want to make sure that you have some rights on the property. Okay, notary required at closing, yes. For documents such as affidavits, deeds, and power of attorney. A notary is a government appointed public servant who is authorized to witness the signing of important documents and administer oaths. Certified individuals are vested with this authority to deter fraud such as forgery and to ensure that documents are properly executed. The notary identifies signers and also makes certain that signers are entering into agreements with a full understanding of what is taking place and willingly taking the action. Okay, so this is an example of closing costs, escrow and notary fees. So basically, more or less, the closing costs are in between 2 to 5% of the purchase price. Real estate commission is not part of the closing costs. Title insurance. So you have title insurance for yourself and for the lender. Documentation preparation fee, recording charges, all new loan charges. We don't come across that. And then tax proration charges is what we get when we get the property tax transferred from the owner to the buyer. Closing costs, yeah. Natural hazard disclosure report. Usually the seller pays for that. Any judgments, delinquent taxes, and tax liens. If they find that on their title search, then we do have to sit down and talk to an arbitrator and see how can we get this taken care of. County transfer tax. I was talking about the property tax. So the county, when they change from ownership, they do charge a fee for that. And so that's what is going to be part of your closing costs. And city transfer, we don't have that here. I haven't seen that at all. Okay, who pays or what? So we talked about the seller paying the transfer of the property taxes and other reports, and then the buyer may have a better opportunity to request the seller pay for all closing costs. I mean, you can write a nice letter asking for that, but there's no guarantee. But it's worth a try, because sometimes sellers who've been waiting for 3 to 4 months after showing their house, no one's put an offer, maybe they'll offer that kind of closing costs to get it sold. Escrow timeline. So typically from the time you sign the contract, in the contract, there will be the amount of days that it will take to finish all the projects. So 30 to 45 days is pretty, what do you call it, conventional. Unless you're applying for a down payment assistance that's really hard to get into, then you ask for more days so they can get you the down payment assistance. Short sales are when people can't pay their mortgage and they can't really pay their mortgage payment after maybe, I know with COVID, a lot of people lost their jobs and they weren't able to pay their mortgage payments. Unfortunately, California had a mortgage relief program, but let's say you're in another state that doesn't have that, then and you can't come up with the money, nobody can help you. So the best thing to do is sell the house, and you find a real estate agent who can help you sell the house in order to pay off the loan. That way you're not liable for a loan once you move out of the house. Okay, buyers must have hazard home insurance prior to closing. You want to schedule all your utilities once you start moving in. Make sure electricity's on, gas, phone, water, garbage, cable. And buyers should do a final inspection, make sure everything's correct. And 24 to 48 hours after signing the loan documents for the loan to fund, funds from lender are wired into escrow. Okay, and 24 hours after funding to record title under new buyer's name with county recorder's office. So that it seems like it's taking longer and longer and longer, but it's just the documents, it's just the days that will take. But eventually you'll get to move into your house. So you're going to do a final walkthrough. Final walkthrough inspection is your absolute last chance to make sure everything is in working condition or is as presented in the contract. If it's not, you can still raise an issue or even back out of the deal. If you use your final walkthrough to thoroughly inspect your future home, you might just avoid costly repairs or extra work on your part further down the road. You have any time from a few hours to 5 days before the closing to perform your inspection to assure the house is in the condition that you agreed upon when signing the contract to purchase the home. Very important. So when does the possession take place? Let's see, loan execution, signing loan documents, once that happens. So the escrow office will have the title deed recorded in the county recorder's office. Once that happens, you will be the legal homeowner of the property, and your realtor will confirm recording on title with you and provide you the keys. So once it's registered, that is the most important part. That's when they can give you the keys. That's when you call your friends with trucks so they can help you move in. Congratulations. Okay, so you move in, and what you need to do is get to know your house. You know, walk around the walls, walk around the outside, look at the neighbors. Okay, walk inside, go to each room, get to know where all the electrical outlets are, where's the closet, where's the pantry, where's the water, where's the heater, all kinds of stuff. You get to know your house. And then the most important part is once you move in, you have your copy of your loan documents, all of that paperwork. You should, get a strong folder or envelope or a little case that you can lock to put all your documents in there, because you really need to keep all the paperwork on your house as long as you live in the house. If you sell the house, you can get rid of the paperwork, but I would still want to keep a copy of it. You just want to make sure. So save and organize all documentation, maintain your house, have regular seasonal home checkups, make mortgage payments on time, incur no additional debt. You really don't need to buy a whole lot of new furniture unless you don't have any now. If you have some furniture now, use those. That's still going to help you. And then what you want to do is get a budget, start saving for a big my God, a big bed with all the sheets and blankets. But if you have a bed, use that now. What you want to do is move in, get yourself settled, but don't start buying a lot of stuff, because then you're going to be paying debt. And what did they say over here? Make mortgage payments on time. You don't want to have anything that will keep you from making mortgage payments on time. If you're late on your payment for more than 5 days, they will charge you $50 late fee. You can't afford that, okay? Make your mortgage payment on top, save money, and get used to making mortgage payments, telephone payments. and all the other stuff that you're going to be paying. Successful homeownership does not begin and end when the closing documents are signed. Successful homeownership means being able to enjoy the comfort, security, and financial rewards that buying a home can offer for as long as you choose to stay in the property. Imagine you walk into your house and you can sit on the couch, a little couch, because you start with a little couch, look at TV, and this is your place. It's so nice to have a place like that that's yours, and you can just sit there, and it's great, and rest and maybe fall asleep. And then they wake you up to make dinner. Okay. Record keeping and maintenance. I guess we can't say it enough. Loan documents, deeds, home insurance, warranties, tax returns, and wills. We're going to talk about wills in another chapter here, and much more that is important and related to your peace of mind and the preservation of home ownership. Yeah, keep your paperwork in order and in a good place. Okay. So maintaining your house, take care of your house and it will take care of you. Timely maintenance will avoid larger expenses. Keeping up with maintenance will enhance the value of your property in case you are looking to sell. Maintaining your house will enhance your neighbor's value. Okay, so if you have a yard, make sure you keep it clean. Maintenance cycle of a home. So you may want in the future to do some home improvement. Maybe you want to paint it a different color. Maybe you want to fix the windows outside, preventive maintenance. Make sure that when you start looking at that, find out the cost and find out, if you have enough savings, if you have enough credit to do that. Because sometimes it's fun, but it is work in order to paint or fix something. However, you do need to get some kind of tools to help you around the house. And you can start with the step ladder that will help you change the light bulbs from the ceiling, flashlight. Sometimes things fall underneath the bed and you don't know where it is. You need a flashlight. Or sometimes you need a flashlight outside when it's dark. You need a hammer, handsaw, dust mask, tape measure, standard screwdriver, work gloves, wrench, and locking pliers. Okay, I have all of this except wrench. I don't even know what it looks like, locking pliers, but I have everything else. The step ladder, I'm always changing the light bulb. And the handsaw, it's in the garage. And everything else I have. It's good to have. Let's see, making repairs. Make sure you save money. There'll be some repairs in the future. I'm talking like maybe 5 to 10 years, something will need to be fixed. Don't over improve. Update your kitchen every now and then. You need a little bit of a new kitchen. Appliances, bathrooms are considered appealing and tend to give you a good return. Okay. Remodeling or making repairs. Be aware of costs and the impact on your budget. Keep all receipts from the improvements until you sell the house. Choose projects that will be universally appealing to future buyers. Some improvements, like a swimming pool, may return less than they cost you, but that's up to you. When deciding to start a remodeling project or replacing an item, think about considering energy conservation measures. Check for insulation. That will help a lot when it gets cold. Check window cells. You don't want air to sneak in when it's cold. Weather stripping and caulking. Attic ventilation. Home appliances can be a major contributor to energy efficiencies. So just, get some information, do some research, and then figure out what you can afford. Making timely payments. This is so important. This begins with purchasing the right property for you and your family at a fair price. borrowing only the amount you can comfortably afford to repay, choosing the right mortgage and understanding all the terms of your loan agreement. Delinquency will hurt your credit. Lender can and will foreclose. Don't get to that point. If by any chance we have a change in the economics, maybe some jobs are going away, like the 99-cent store, talk to me. I'm a foreclosure prevention counselor, so we can find options for you to keep your home. All right. Call your lender immediately if you find that your job's going to another state, or you can't afford it, you had an accident. Do not avoid lender calls. Do not move out of your house. What caused your inability to make payments? What have you done to resolve the issue? What do you want the lender to do? How committed are you? Good questions, okay? And so when you call the lender, keep notes of all the communications. I noticed during the COVID and all the people not working, the government really asked the banks to not do foreclosures, find a way to help the clients. And so they had a lot of moratorium programs where you didn't have to make your mortgage payment until they said that COVID was over. And there's still some problems with that, but at least they're not foreclosing, they're just trying to help you. So and I'm glad California came in with the the mortgage relief. Make only promises you are absolutely able to keep. Meet all deadlines given by the lender. And this is the most important part of the workshop that HUD wants us to enforce, is to be careful with fraud or anything that doesn't sound right, like excessive interest rates. Right now, the interest rate is between 6 and 7%. Excessive fees, we can talk to a lender, and they have normal fees really over the years. We don't have excessive fees. High pressure sales tactics. I hate aggressive people like that. And balloon payments. We don't offer, the lenders do not offer balloon payments. So that's not something that you can fall into. And fraud. I mean, sometimes you could feel the person is not true. You could just see them and what they say. You have this feeling like, I don't think he's right. I don't think she's right. It doesn't sound right. Okay, so just be careful, ask a lot of questions. I tell people, if somebody's asking for money to help you find a house, ask for their license, because the licensed real estate agents don't ask for money. Okay. So some predatory lenders do this. Deceptive advertising. Sometimes there's advertising that sounds really good, and you go there and it's not that good. It's deceptive. Inflating income. They tell you to put in more money so you can be approved. Inflated appraisals. That was done way before the falling down of the homes, and during the 2006, 2008, a lot of inflated appraisals. They were paying a lot of appraisers to say this is how much the house is, and it really wasn't. That's why there's a whole change in how to order an appraiser to come to your house. Nobody can have a personal relationship with an appraiser. It all has to be, like random. So also don't rob the piggy bank, okay? Teaser rates. I see this a lot at the gas station. Oh, you can come to this gas station and get some gas for $5, and you get there and there isn't any. Or bait and switch, there's all this advertising. You can get this free, and you go to the store and it's not there, you have to go all the way to the back and it's all gone. So be careful, what people say and what you can do. Make sure you investigate and ask questions. And if you're a victim of predatory lending, we have quite a few agencies. Call the Federal Trade Commission, call the Better Business Bureau, call the Attorney General, contact the Department of Real Estate, contact an attorney, contact the Department of Corporations. And we also have Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. They're the ones who monitor all the lenders and all the practices. So they have some really nice webinars about different kinds of issues that they always are looking at to give you information. So, questions and comments? Do I have a buyer? How's that for aggressiveness?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
But you
for
guys,
those of you who finished the 4 weeks, there is a certificate coming your way.
Mhm. All right, and then for those who did not, so we have scheduled every Tuesday of the month of May. So if you missed 1 or 2 sessions, I'll be sending you guys that information. Just so you guys know, the link is the same, so you guys could use the same link. But other than that, just make sure to register for those other sessions if you missed out on those. And then we also are working on setting up additional sessions with Isabel. So hopefully we can get that ball rolling pretty soon. And it's going to be not only on first-time home buying, it's also going to be on credit and money management, estate planning. You want to give them a little bit of information, Isabel?
Let me tell you I have here agenda. So we're going to talk about a very interesting way of teaching you budgeting and savings. We're going to start with a community agreement. So we're going to talk about how are we going to treat each other in the workshop. We're going to have an icebreaker activity. We're going to talk about budgeting basics. Why we talk about budgeting and why is it so important? And then we're going to have activities like creating your budget. You're going to create your budget and the importance of savings. I just can't say enough of how important it is to save money.
Mm-hmm.
Building emergency funds. I don't know
So,
about you, but I've seen a lot of time here that we all have to get some kind of an emergency backup. Yeah, we have insurance. Yeah, we have a bank statement. We just have to be prepared. That's all we want to be, is prepared. And once we're prepared, we know exactly what to do and we can still live a life. Activities, setting financial goals. It's so important to have a goal. And then we're going to look at your goals and find out how we can get more goals going. So it's kind of nice. I like this. We're going to show you how to do active listening, respectful communication, how to confidentiality and safe space between people, engage in constructive feedback, embrace diversity and inclusion, and stay present and participate while we save money and we work on our goals. It's kind of exciting.
yeah.
Because it's such a different slant to learning how to work with money. That's a whole thing about Operation Hope. We work on financial literacy. And it took me a couple of years working with Operation Hope to figure out financial literacy is, how do I handle money? Good Lord, I'm so glad I learned all these things. Okay, because I'm still alive here.
All right. All right. So then we have our next session with Isabel scheduled for May 7th, Tuesday at 6 p.m. So we look forward to seeing you guys. All right. Thank you so much, Isabel, again for your time. And thank you, everybody, for joining us today. And we'll see you guys next time. Thank you.
All right.